Pyramids aren't tombs.
Mr. Morton.
What was that?
Nick!
The truth is, they're prisons. Do you have any idea what you have unearthed?
Yes, I did have doubts indeed. I said no to the project to begin with because I just finished a movie where I did a lot of makeup, and I think I was a bit afraid to go back in the makeup chair for that long. I was also, for some reason, afraid to play a monster, and I was also afraid to not be right, not giving homage and not adjusting to, because I have so much respect to the original ones, and I grew up watching these films, and I thought, and I think there's an aspect of it that scared me, and my first initial reaction to it was to maybe no. And then Alex understood it. He said he still wanted to meet me, and I said of course, and we sat down and met, and I suppose he shared with me his desire to give a proper homage to the original, then he shared with me his passion towards the original ones, and it only made me fall in love with the project, and it made me feel like, going back to the makeup for that long is not, that big of a deal. It's about the art, and it's about, the characters and the story, and that these are far greater than anything, and I consider this needs to be a blank canvas, that I feel like more than happy to transform to get into a character that's, especially if it's such an iconic one, such as the Mummy, and then I said yes, and then we did all the research in order to find the character that was going to come again, like Now for Modern Time. Yeah, it's an honor. Boris Karloff made that role iconic. The movie was iconic, and that was over 80 years ago, and that was a long time. And for Alex to think about this character being a woman, I think was so spot on, was so clever, and it was sensitive of him to do it that way, I think it's empowering, and I think I think in the industry period, it needs to be more strong, female characters out there, and I think it's an honor for me to play this role and to sort of walk in his footstep, Boris Karloff's footstep. But yeah, it didn't come without any sort of pressure, but I did work hard for it, I suppose. Yeah, I think it was necessary, when I sat down with Alex. One of the reasons also why I said no was because I was afraid to just be a monster scaring people around, destroying things around, and I thought, the psychology and the background of those kind of characters is far more interesting than the actual end result, which is monstrous or evil or mean. And he agreed, and we were on the same page in that sense, and I mean, luckily we have an amazing, strong backstory for Amanette, and I was just sticking to the circumstances, and I think they are strong, and they made me feel for the character, and so like any nemesis in every movie, which I'm always drawn towards the bad guy more so than the good guy for some reason, because you always wonder what makes them so evil, and why do they not figure it out in order to. And I think, nemesis in movies, or nemesis in characters, they go past the line that we sometimes human don't go towards, because we sort of rationalize what's happening to us, and so to observe that is fascinating. Honestly, if I fall in love with the script, I fall in love with the script. To me, relationships in stories are very important. I love transforming is a part of our job. We transform emotionally, so why not externally doing it as well? I think it all depends of what I read and what I love, and if it requires having to do that again, if I love it, it doesn't matter. I don't know yet. We haven't come to that stage yet, but I would be more than happy to play Amanette again. Who would I like to face? I don't know. Maybe I think the Invisible Man would be a hard one to target, because it'd be hard to fight him. He's pretty slick and pretty invisible.
Who are you?
She's unlike anything we've ever faced.
Johnny!